So last week, I saw a tweet by a venture capitalist named Sam Thompson, who really live tweeted his experience building an online counseling service in just 24 hours. And so his documentation of this triggered an idea I've been mulling on for a while, and I decided to just give it a go. So today, I want to share with you how I built and launched a software product in just 24 hours. Let's get it. All right. So, like I said, last week I got inspired. I wanted to see what I could do, how I could replicate a similar project and success story. So I started and launched a brand new product in just 24 hours. And so I kind of just want to walk you through the steps of how I did that, and then I'll share the product itself so you can check it out and see kind of what the outcome was. But first of all, already had the idea kind of mulling in the back of my mind. And so went ahead and got a domain, but normally I would stop there. I would just get a domain and then, hopefully come back to it and think about it at some point. Between Derek and I, we have like 60 domains. It's crazy. And, it's something that's, unhealthy at this point. So I didn't want to just get another domain. So I went ahead and also set up a Webflow account and a template within Webflow, which, if you're not familiar, is like a content building software or a website building software. I set up a Stripe account, which is how you can receive money through on the internet. And I also set up a custom type form. And so what this did was give me some skin in the game, where I wouldn't just give up on the idea when I got tired, or, when I had something more pressing to do, because I had paid a little bit of money for some of these different accounts. I mean, less than $50 total, but I had to spend a little bit of money. And so therefore, I had some skin in the game and I wanted to continue the project. Once I had all of those pieces in place, I went and wrote out the value proposition using the unique selling proposition method. So this format, if you're not familiar with it, it asks you to fill out this formula. It says, we, being the vendor, being me, we help insert your target customer, achieve insert your ideal outcome with insert your product or service. Okay, so we help insert the target customer, achieve what is the ideal outcome with the product or service. So to give you an example, here's what mine looked like. We help marketers, that's our target customer, get their customers' attention on social. That's the ideal outcome, getting customer attention on social, by creating fast, viral quality content out of their existing assets. That's the product or service. So the whole intention behind this was, there's a lot of marketers who want to get attention online. I mean, it's you're seeing it day in and day out. We are now in past just, content marketing is a good idea. It is actual currency, as demonstrated both by the amount of business that can be generated through it and the Web3 wave that's coming, and NFTs and all these things that you're seeing. Like, content is currency. So there's a lot of people who want to be able to build content, but they may have ideas, but they just can't execute at a high level. And so that's what this product is designed to do. You upload, if you're a marketer, your quote unquote boring content, and we take that and turn it into something that's actually, worthy of watching, is the way that we talk about it for their audience. So that was the idea. It's a little clunky, but it will work for now. From there, I had the assets I had some of those tools in place. I had the unique selling proposition in place. So I'm a words person by nature, if you couldn't tell. So I decided to build out the rest of the project by writing out all the various components, like the products, the pricing, the copy headlines for the website, everything I'd need in terms of words. And then I would let that drive the rest of the product. And so all of this happened in Notion. I have all these files in here. If somebody wanted to see it for some reason, I wouldn't mind sharing that with you. But so let's start with pricing. Pricing was pretty easy to figure out. My goal was to make a product that could generate $5,000 a month. That's generally one customer for us. And so based on what I need to pay our editors for the actual work, this left me to charge about $299 per piece of content. And so you figure if people are doing 1 to 3 pieces of content, their average cost is going to be about $500. I want to get 10 customers. That's all I really need for this to make sense for us as a business model. So if I can find 10 companies in the entire world that are willing to pay for their content to be transformed from boring to worthy of watching, then I've got a business here or a product here. And I think that's very doable. So once I did that, I went on to write the actual product descriptions and used all the information in those to build a type form with some conditional logic that really acts as the customer support and salesperson for a new customer. So now when a new customer comes to our eventual site, they can order, upload their asset, pay for the service, and then eventually get delivery of the content all through the site and the connected type form, which is tied together to our bank account via Stripe. So now I had all the building blocks in place, but needed to put together the visual components of the site. And if I'm being honest, this is by far my weakness. Like I can tell what looks good and I know what I like in terms of taste. Like if I see something, I know immediately whether it's good or bad, but I'm not great at generating it myself. I can do that when it comes to the copy, but not the visual. So I stuck to the kind of the basics and used a free Webflow template. So I'd have some lines to color, stay within. And same thing with Canva for the logo. And went ahead and just built that out. That took a few hours. So once all this was done, I still had some details like replacing the filler content and making FAQs, but the site was about 90% done at this point. And we're probably at like the 12 to 15 hour mark from when I started or decided to do this to getting to about 90% done. At this point, I sent it to a number of friends and my business partner who could provide feedback and expose my blind spots. Derek also jumped in and helped me tweak the look of it because that's not my strength, as I said, before we launched. And so finally, right at the 24-hour mark, we were ready to go. We built and shipped an entire software product. I mean, it's a website tied together with some light tools like the things I've mentioned, and the product transforms boring content into viral worthy content. Now, there is still a manual component to it. I mean, there's people, editors on our side who have to take the content and turn it around in 48 hours, but we took this thing that didn't exist, and in 24 hours, we're able to build it out and ship it. So we're still testing a few things and only accepting orders from quote unquote friendly customers, which I would consider you, if you're listening to this, part of that. But we plan to use Facebook and Instagram ads to drive traffic soon enough. If you want to check it out, you don't need to, but it is Seemoh.com. So that's CEEMOH.com. Seemoh. It's kind of like CMO. It's your personal content assistant. And for me, this was really just a fun project. It showed me what I could get done when I put blinders on and focused on shipping as soon as possible. And keep in mind, this was done in between my normal workday. So, when I say 15, 24 hours, really, it wasn't I still had calls to do. I still had work to be done. But it was something that I was able to fit in. And the output is something that is, I think, valuable for our company and something we'll end up benefiting from. So I'll definitely do this again with something different, a different idea, but really enjoyed the process. Right now, I want to improve the Seemoh experience so that it's really, really usable. It's very intuitive, easy to understand what the outputs are, and make sure we as a team give it enough attention to where it can survive. So that's where we're at. That was the project that I created in 24 hours, the product that I created in 24 hours. And if you want to check it out, let me know what you think. It's CEEMOH.com. That's the story. We'll see you tomorrow.